All right, so a very good evening from all of us at Soil. Today we've gathered here to welcome you and discuss about how you can crack a consulting role for from a B school that you apply for a consulting role, and then you go through an interview process, and then everything that goes into grabbing a consulting role, be it in any domain. So today I have with me my fellow batchmates from the Soil PGP program as well as HRLP. I have with me Uha Shri and Kajari Burman. And from the HRLP program, we have Shubro Roy Chaudhary. So we will take some time to introduce each of us to you. And meanwhile, if you have any kind of questions that you can ask us related to soil, placements or consulting or anything that you have in mind, you can drop it in the box in the chat and we will try to answer any of your questions. Also, through the course of this interview, if you want to reach out to any of us personally, we can give you our handle, and there's always the admissions team to help you. So to start off, can I have Uha to please introduce herself?
Thank you, Amrita. I hope I'm audible. Hello, everyone. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the webinar. So I'm Uha Raipaneni of PGPM 2022 batch, and I'm doing my major in marketing and minor in analytics. I'm very humbled to tell you all I've been recently placed with Michael Page of Page Groups, which is a HR consulting and recruitment company. My role is an associate consultant role, and my main responsibilities will be client key, account handling management, and B2B sales. So to add a little bit more about my background and my journey in soil, well, basically I'm from engineering background. I've done my graduation in electrical and electronic engineering, and I've started my working career with HCL Technologies as a Java developer, and I later transitioned to product expert in Byju's Think and Learn Private Limited. Soil happened to me when I was dead set on pursuing management studies, and I was swayed by the breezy admission experience that I've had. This has been a brilliant opportunity to meet culturally diverse fellow students and industry experts as my professors, and being a student body member, I learned a great deal of thinking on my toes and delegation for sure. And one thing that I dearly admire about Soil is that it's completely student-driven course. The events, the activities, the clubs, a lot student-driven. It kind of gives you a sense of freedom as well as it prepares you for the corporate world in your future. So enough about me. Since you're all here to know more about consulting as a career, let me start by briefing you a little bit about what consulting role is. So your major job as a consultant will be client engagement and problem solving. So each segment of the business will require consulting services, be it finance or operations or strategy or marketing. So each segment will require your consulting services. So depending on the field of the company that you will work for in the future or the client's requirements, we need to don many hats in solving their problems and providing the best and efficient solutions possible. So that's about that. On a whole, really glad to be here, and will soon be answering all the questions that you have, any doubts about the career in consulting. So it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Uha. Can we have Shubro Roy from HRLP?
Yeah, thanks, Amrita. A very warm welcome and good evening to all the attendants and the people out there. So, myself, Shubro Roy Chaudhary, currently pursuing my human resource program in Soil and Gurgaon. And recently, I've got an offer from one of the big four consulting firm for as a role in human capital consulting domain. So the one to brief about myself regarding my first journey before coming to Soil, this 1 year program. So I'm basically from Calcutta, and I have done my engineering from National Institute of Technology in IT Durgapur back in 2016. Post completing that, I have joined JSW as an R&D engineer, focusing on the development of automotive and defense segment business of the company. I was handling the import and export segment business of the organization, and has played a very key position in my organization over the past 4 years and 10 months of experience in JSW. So I joined Soil where I was really, in a position that I want to really uplift my management skills and people facing skills on this management functions, because as you all know that there are many key drivers of an organization, not only HR or marketing finance. You have to have the knowledge of all the gamut of business functions to grow really in a leadership roles and get into those roles further in your career path or progress. So definitely soil has given me that opportunity to nurture my knowledge and on my skills here, and really it was a great journey till date in soil with my batchmates. The learning curve was really learning curve was very nice, and I have learned a lot from my peers batchmates, and the course curriculum is really as per the industry trends and norms. So I will be handling any questions if you have further.
Thank you, Shubhro. Kajari, can you comment?
Yeah, so thank you, Amrita, and a very good evening to all, and welcome to this webinar. So I'll just talk about myself at first. So my name is Kajori Burman, and I'm basically from West Bengal. So I have completed my graduation in genetics from Kolkata, and after that I pursued my master's in biotechnology. And after that, I actually was working for market research firms as a research associate, a research consultant. So before joining to soil, I would say that I was an urge to pursue an MBA to, uplift my career, to enhance my career experience. So when I was working for a market research firm, so I actually realized that this is not it for me, because I have to go further to uplift my career. And then I chose to come to the soil for getting into an MBA program. So right now I'm actually pursuing my MBA in majorly in marketing, and I'm doing my minor in finance. I would say that soil has been a very great experience to me. It has provided a very wider or a very broader platform for me for my career, because after coming to soil, I actually realized that I can actually be exposed to different or in various numerous industry trends. They are actually their current positions in the market, just to to get better understanding. And I would say that everyone should actually get an idea of their goal, their life's goals, basically, just to be very specific and just to move forward towards their goal very precisely. So soil has helped me in my career in a very pleasant way. And the placement committee of soil, and along with the other faculties and my batchmates, they have been a very great help to me. And as Uhashi already mentioned, that it is a very student driven program. So soil actually provides you with a holistic opportunity to get exposed to the industry. Also, soil actually, I would like to mention that soil actually provides you with mentorship, the one-on-one mentorship from industries, very specific persons, so they can actually help you grow in your career and move forward with a great experience. So yeah, that's all. Soil has been a very great for me. So I thank you all from the soil family to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kajari. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Amrita and I come from Bangalore. I did my undergrad in commerce, and simultaneously I started pursuing my CA, but then I couldn't complete it until I joined CA. So I thought, why not, why wait for CA, because it's not time bound, right? It's like effort bound degree. So I started looking up for like 1-year courses, because I didn't want to spend a lot of time given COVID and all of that. I wanted like a quick tunnel to start working, and that's how I came across soil. And it's a very densely packed course, and yet I somehow like found time to clear my CA during this 1 year. So I can say soil has helped me a lot in that as well, right? Because your courses are hand in hand. It's not something out of the world that you learn. It's something that you get to use every day, and going forward, whichever role you're placed in, all of your subjects that you learn, and anything that you've picked up from peer learning, all of that comes to use. So that way soil's journey has been nothing less than enriching for me. So that's about me, and we have questions. So Shivam says 3 most important things a candidate must know before going into an MBA program. So Uha, can you answer that?
Yeah, sure. Is it Shivam, right? Oh yeah, Shivam. Hi Shivam. I'm not sure about the three important things that a candidate must know before going to MBA, but I can tell you one thing, that is be open-minded. So having preconceived notions before you get into MBA might actually limit your opportunities. So doing MBA is to network, build new relationship, learn more about yourself, what your career might take you in the future. So I would say be open-minded for new experiences and new learnings about the career as well as yourself.
Thank you, Uha. Shivam, I hope that answers your question. And we have another question from Isha. What courses or materials a candidate should go through before joining the HR program? So Shubhro, since you're from HR, can you take that?
Yeah, sure. Isha, if I rightly get your question, that you are referring to courses or materials you are talking about. So I hope you are having some work experience already, so you can well relate your past experience with the curriculum here goes on in HR. Most of the topics you will be getting acquainted with soon you come here, because there are no such perspective that you have to have no. I mean, you have to have this knowledge prior before joining this course. So I think such courses or materials in prior hand doesn't require, but yes, your interest does matter a lot. How do you read such channels like People Matters or ETHR World, or some channels or books on HR, or how do you know the recent trends in HR domain in like talent acquisition or L&D or say rewards? What kind of trends are going on in India and all over the country? What are the labor laws or acts? If you have interest, then you can read this early before joining the course. It will definitely help you in knowing the things better in, when these courses comes. Thanks. Hope this help answer your question.
Thank you, Shubhro. Next question. How important are case study competitions, and can we get a consulting job without winning any of them? Yeah, sure. Kajuri, do you have an insight on this?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, so hi Soham. So I would say that right now all the companies are actually focusing on case study competition. So I have recently been placed with Infosys, and not only just Infosys, all the other companies are actually enhancing and actually putting emphasis on the case study competition. Because GD has been a very old topic right now. So basically, yeah, case study competition is very much important, because going through case study competition actually helps the interviewer gain a particular knowledge about your skills and abilities. Because when you're going through case study competition, you have to find the crucial problem of that particular case, and to do that you actually have to do some kind of analysis and go with a particular approach to find the solution, actually problem solution. So case study competition is very much important, and winning it, I would say it's not very important, because interviewers are mainly focusing on the approach that you are basically implying to just to get to the solution. So yeah, case study competition is very much important, and most importantly you just focus on the approach and the problem finding thing. So yeah.
Thanks, Kajuri. We have the next question. What is the average salary for consulting roles, and what roles in consulting are there for people not in HR? Okay, so you can take us, for example. Uha is placed in a marketing and sales consulting role, and I am placed in a finance consulting role, and Shubhro and Kajuri are placed in general consulting, right? So it depends on what you want to major in, or
Mine is human capital consulting. It's part of HR function.
Okay, so yeah, so he wants to know what are not HR, right? Thanks, Shubhro. So yeah, it depends on the roles that are coming in, and if you happen to align with them, right? So if you have a background, let's say in some kind of consulting that you've done as an internship or whatever, you can you have an edge there. So it depends. It can be finance, it can be marketing, sales. And if you ask me for an average salary in BLP as of now, our average comes to about 12.5. So at the high end, it's 19, right? So that as well is like somewhat consulting. So, you can look at 12.5 as your average. And thank you for that question. So moving ahead, I'd like to, focus on what is the kind of mindset that we should have during interview preparation for consulting roles specifically. So to give you an example, I can say I was not prepared. Soil has this very in-depth kind of structure where they prepare you for any kind of role. They have mock tests, and then they have mock GDs, and then you have an internal mentor and you have external mentors assigned to you, so you can at any point schedule mock interviews with them, and they will give you their feedback, and it's all like real-time industry feedback, so it's going to be very useful, right? So you have a lot of resources at your disposal that Soil provides you with. And before an interview, let's say we have Deloitte interview scheduled, we have somebody from Deloitte who's from somebody from an alumni that's got placed in Deloitte coming in and giving you tips as to how they cracked it, right? So we have in-house examples and people guiding you through the interview. So interview is like a cakewalk because of all the resources and the guidance that Soil provides. And you nevertheless, it cannot, you cannot discount the preparation that you personally have to put in. So you go through your JD, the JD that is given to you, and then you kind of do research on what is the requirement, and then you go and you can look at Glassdoor reviews and see, like what are the questions and answers in the interview that's been asked so far, and you can prepare yourself accordingly, because many a times, like, people do share their experiences. People that have gone through interviews happen to put their experiences out on the internet, so it's just a Google search away, and also a lot of people that happen to help us. So we have the next question. What skills one must develop for cracking consultant jobs? Uha, can you take that?
Yes, sure. So yeah, that is from Rishikesh. Hi, Rishikesh. So actually, consulting, as I have already mentioned, it has its foot in different segments of a business. So if you are coming from, for example, in my case, I come from a technical and sales background. So my job that I have taken up with Michael Page is mostly B2B sales related consultancy. So I will be handling a portfolio of clients and their needs, and I'll be providing problem solving solutions for them. So that is my criteria. If for suppose you are from a finance background, you can be a consultant in risk management. You can handle a portfolio of clients for whom you will be giving investment decisions. So that is how it is segmented. There are not particular skills that you can learn, but the skills that will apply for all these roles will be definitely interpersonal skills, your communication skills, your leadership quality, and critical thinking. So these are the skills that are common for all the segments that I've talked about. Thank you.
Thank you, Uha. Also, we covered, like, if a case study competition, that there is another question I would like to address. How do we approach case studies given in an interview? Because it is going to be given to you like on the spot, and you will not be given much time. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Right. So let me repeat my question. So you are going to be given case studies real time on the spot in an case study round. So how do you approach case studies? How do you start solving them? Like you'll be looking at them for the very first time, and there is a time limit, and also there is some sort of expectation for you to delve in depth. So if any of us have done a case study in our rounds.
May I, Amrita?
Sure.
Yeah. So guys, I have actually dealt with a case study round in my own interview process. But fortunately, I've been given a time of 1 day before I get to present my findings and my learnings from the case study. So in this case, what you need to understand is the company or the interviewer is actually designing this to check your spontaneity in situations, and how well you were able to understand the role and what the job demands, right? So these are the criteria they're looking for. It's not always about the end answer that you're giving, it's about the approach that you're taking. So try to break down the case study into small detached parts. So, and try to reason why you have broken down those points, and try to detach one of the point one by one. So that's how interviewer will understand how your problem solving skills might aid to the role that he is interviewing you for. So in my case, I was dealing with the HR recruitment consultancy firm, right? So I had to crack a case study on collecting the necessary data on a particular JD that they have given me, a job description. So I need to analyze it, shortlist the candidates that are best fit for the role. So I'm not from a HR background, but it took a lot of research. At the end, what they have actually looked at is the effort that I've put. So I have divided it into small problems. I first went to the LinkedIn, tried to pull out all the profiles that I could find, which relates to the JD that I've been given, and I tried to put the experience and the criteria that will be required. So this is how step by step I have cracked the case study. So it might be different for different interviews that you'll be giving, but the one motto is that try to divide and conquer. Yeah.
Thank you, Uha. Abhishek, I can see you've placed your question here as well. So to answer your first question, we of course, the Anil Sachdev sir has a lot of connections, and the college in itself is very well connected, be it with alumni or like the companies that we bring in. There is in fact a very dedicated department to connect with companies and bring them in. And we also have a process where if you're specifically interested in a certain company, you can always reach out to the CMS or the career management services and tell them that you're interested in this particular company, and they will try contacting and bringing them on board for you. Like if you happen to align with any of the roles that you're looking at, like let's say you look up a LinkedIn post and you think you are a good fit for that role, you can always go through the CMS team. They will have the company come in for you. They definitely do that. In fact, they are specifically recruited to bring in companies that suit your job profile. And unless everyone is placed, they will keep going at it. They keep bringing in companies. The process is in fact right now even ongoing, where a few of us are unplaced, and they are bringing in the companies that that the students would like to get placed in. So yes, the consulting firm that you're talking about, if you're really interested and if you fit the role, why not? Like we can have them bring in. So tips to build a profile and competencies for consulting roles prior to joining an MBA program. Kajori, do you want to answer that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll take the question. So Abhishek, just to mention that, yeah, tips to build a profile and competencies for consulting roles. I would say that if you're in your undergraduate program, or if you're planning to go for an MBA program, so at first, try to look for your goal very precisely. And after looking for your goal, and after, getting to know your actual goal, just try to build your leadership skills that is aligned with your goal. And also in the free time, if you would like to go for any kind of extracurricular or something, some kind of any other program, like you can go for certification courses also. Certification actually adds value to your profile, and to just to add any kind of spikes in your profile. So basically certification also, I would say that you also can go for any kind of program, just to associate, just to get associated with any NGO or something like that. That will actually help you to get into any kind of MBA program. So try to find out your goals, try to build your leadership skills, also get into any kind of certification programs or courses. So that will actually help you to get into any kind of consulting role for MBA program. Because consulting actually, in the consulting role, interviewers actually looking for spikes in your profile that is mentioned in your CV or resume. So yeah, you can go for that.
Thank you, Kajuri. There's also a question for you. Any suggestions on the certificate course?
Yeah, so certification course basically right now, be it marketing, be it finance, be it HR, anything, be it anything. Actually, people are going for data analytics certification courses basically. So analytics is the new generation, and analytics is associated with every field of our lives, of our business career. So in that particular case, you can go for any analytics course certification, or any kind of certification. You can go for like Udemy certification, Coursera, or simply hired. This kind of certification courses actually will help you to grow, like personally and professionally as well.
Thank you, Kajuri. There's another question. If I join Soil and I'm interested in both PGDM finance and data analytics, can I focus on both disciplines, or do I have to focus on my core finance? Shubhro, can you answer that?
Yeah, so it is very much feasible that you focus on both in a major and minor in both these two aspects. So analytics is very much required, but you can focus on, what is your main focus area? Is it finance or analytics you should focus on? Because job profiles which comes to Soil maybe towards analytics role or towards finance, because these two are not so associated domain. Yes, financial analytics is a very key part, but if you are focusing on analytics, I think to much more, and also on finance also, roles are very versatile. So both based upon your interest, you can pursue both, I think, and it should not be a problem with 1 year curriculum. And but it will be a rigorous process of managing both the major and minor.
Thank you, Shubhro. So the thing is, you can, if you're interested in both and you do not have to figure out right now, you have 1 year to figure out. So you can take one of it as your major and the other as your minor, like Shubhro said, and then see what you're, more inclined towards, and then the job profiles that are coming your way. That having said, Kajuri, you have another follow-up question. So this person's already done certifications on Google Analytics, data analytics, and Six Sigma, and he or she wants to know, are they good?
Yeah, so I would say, Abhishek, that certification in Google Analytics and data analytics, Six Sigma, are pretty good, because as far as you are able to, justify your answers to the interviewer questions and justify your ability to, just to stand out in the interviewer's eyes, in front of the interviewer's eyes. So basically, you are good to go. So yeah, these certification courses are very good, pretty good. And obviously, I would like to say, if you want to go for further certification or any more certifications, yeah, please go through that, because yeah, but these certifications are pretty good, I would say.
Thank you, Kajuri. Now we can talk about how to boost our CV before joining an MBA program. So is there anything specific that each of us did, before when we got an admit to Soil, and then when we knew we wanted to get the kind of job that we have today? So between then and now, did we kind of, what are the things that we did to kind of like enhance our CV? So Uha, can you tell us?
Yeah, sure. So to boost your CV, to before joining an MBA program or for a job, the key is to trying and representing as many keywords, related to the business perspective. So in your and be mindful, you cannot just sprinkle these keywords, or try to modify those with your previous experience that you have, which might aid to the domain that you want to get into in the future. So in case of consulting, because we're talking about it, I'll just give you an example. So in case of consulting, people skills and interpersonal skills are important, right? So try to focus on the jobs you have done, taking care of a team or any leadership position that you've had. It can even be your student body role, right? Because there also you have had a leadership position and you have delegated some work. So try and elevate that. Similarly, if you had any experience in sales or handling clients, so that also can be emphasized, so that your CV is visibly clear to the person who's reading it. So that is the key for it. And try not to clutter your CV with irrelevant experiences or certificates. For example, if you're from a civil engineering background, it's just an example, and you have done a lot of courses like AutoCAD, right? So you don't have to include that when you're joining an MBA course, because that is not the primary requirement for any jobs that you'll be getting after an MBA course. So be mindful of these things, as I can say.
Thank you, Uha. Shubro, do you want to tell us anything specific that you did?
Yeah, so mainly regarding my journey in soil in HR program, as I was shifting my industry as well as career domain. So I mainly focused on doing few certification and boost my knowledge in a greater manner, so that I can crack this kind of roles when the opportunity comes. So specifically I focused on the internship aspect. I have done my internship in Kotak as well as Tata Communications, and I have also done one certification course from Aon. So these three things really helped me boosting my CV value, I think, for this kind of roles, and for me it really mattered getting shortlisted in such roles. So that's it from myself.
Thank you, Shubro. Kajari, you've already mentioned that you've done certifications on all that. So yeah, that's anything specific you'd like to add, or shall we go ahead?
Yeah, I would just like to say that just to boost your weightage of your CV, you should mention more the numbers. Actually, when you're telling about your telling something about yourself, just be sure that you have the proof to prove it. Right. So if you're telling that you're very good at something, so you have to give such kind of example with like some numbers actually, so that would actually help you to make any like standout presence in front of your interviewer's eyes. So basically just try to get tagged your numbers with your experiences. So yeah.
Thank you, Kajari. I'd also like to mention we have a specific subject called consulting, right? So where we solve real world, consulting problems, and we look at case studies of how a problem was solved, and by let's say the best of the best consultants, which is in fact taken by Anil Sachdev himself, right? So it's going to be very enriching coming from the founder himself. So you can expect that. And then we also have a specific option to choose consulting if you become an RA, right? So you can work under the consulting division. So that's an option as well. So I think consulting, nobody gets into it, majorly you get into it through a B school. Recruitment happens through B school. It's not through undergrad that you get into consulting. So I think, the best option or the best bet would be like a 1-year program such as soil, because you get to learn everything that you need to learn, and you're well equipped by the time consulting firms come knocking. So will sports certifications help? Can any of you take that question?
Yeah, it might help in understanding you as a person, that you have a extracurricular life beyond academics. But when strictly speaking about your career in academic front or work front, then I might not feel like that would really add to your career prospect. That's it.
We have a question. Why would someone join soil instead of other top MBA colleges like IIMs, XLRIs, etc.? What makes it special, right? So there are two things to this, right? So all of us go through this when we search for a B school. Obviously, the top choice for everyone is to graduate out of an IIM or an XLRI, right? But then there are two things. We have people who willingly gotten an admit into all of these places and then chosen soil. I will come to the reason shortly. And secondly, most of us end up not cracking CAT. And when I say this, it doesn't mean that you lack any kind of like skills or knowledge. It's just that CAT is a very it tests you on certain skills, and then if you're not well equipped on that day, it's not a measure of how smart you are and how capable you are. So let's just say you're very smart and you're very capable, but then you don't end up getting that kind of cutoff score then it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world if you don't get an admit into any of these premier B schools, right? And soil is no less than any of these schools, because you cannot compare both, because this is 1 year and the others are 2 years, right? So you cannot essentially compare. But then if you look at the pedagogy and then the faculty and our alumnus and the rich exposure that we get, it is nowhere less. Like today, I would very proudly go and tell people that, look, I'm from soil, and it's a college in Gurgaon, and like I'm placed here because the placements are, in fact, like, you get enough number of good companies coming in. So in no way it is different. So if you get an admit, then sure, you can choose which one you want to go for. But if you, like me, I haven't taken the CAT exam, and so this was one of my best options, but even then I would have considered soil on my list. But if you are like me, who's probably not done well in CAT, or you have other personality traits that you want to showcase, then I think you can very well go for soil. We have another question. As soil is providing both majors and minor specializations, does it mean that I can go for either domain as my career option in future endeavors? Kajuri, can you take that?
Yeah, so I'll take that. So yeah, soil is providing us with minor and major specializations, but I would say that majorly the companies that have come to our campus, they actually have opened or kept all the doors open for ourselves. So basically, if you want to go for your minor subject or any major subject, actually, yeah, you can go for that, because you are not restricted to limit yourself to some certain kind of roles or some certain kind of specializations. So basically, if you are good to go, and if you are able to prove your skills in that particular domain, you can actually go for any kind of domain in future. So yeah, I think that will help you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Kajuri. Are the consulting roles that we get in institutions like soil similar to the ones a student would go through elite colleges like IMX, LRI? Uha, can you answer that?
Yes, of course, because the you can just check the recent companies that have visited soil. All of these companies are well renowned in their respective fields and areas, right? So there's Infosys, there's Deloitte, there's Accenture, and there are a few other companies that usually don't go to IIMs like Michael Page, Stress Vista. So there are a wide variety of companies that are coming to soil, and the same they're offering the same roles that they're offering to an IIM student or a tier 2 college student, right? So it all depends on how you're seizing that opportunity, but because you will be given plenty of opportunities, it's just about you seizing that opportunity at that point of time. Definitely.
Thank you, Uha. Shubhro, we have a question regarding HR. So can you shine
Yeah.
light on what type of roles are offered in HR domain? Is there a big focus on HR analytics, that is big data, or Excel knowledge is enough?
Esha, thanks for the question. So the roles here comes mostly in HR, mostly are HR BP roles, human resource business partner. Other roles which it focuses is talent acquisition role and also HR generalist roles. Consulting roles also do come for HR. And to answer your next question is that big focus on HR analytics, I would say no, there is no such specific thing I will try to throw on this question, because HR analytics is not any specific role it comes for. But yes, if you do have some analytics knowledge or some language knowledge, you can go through the data easily and get insights from others. You have an edge over them if you have hands-on in these tools and skills. So it's definitely better for you. Yes, HR analytics maybe will be getting roles in near future also. But yes, this field is emerging, and yes, if you are interested, definitely you should learn and go for it.
Thank you, Shubhro. The next question is, will I be able to get a placement as a team lead if I join soil? Definitely. In fact, even you can even expect roles above a team lead or below, because it's what you come with, right? Your experience, everything is counted. So there are some companies that it's your pay scale is also related to how many years of experience you already have. So if you have, let's say, upwards of 3 years of experience, then you can blindly directly apply for like team lead roles. So you have to satisfy the job roles that the companies come with. So it depends on what kind of experience you come with. The next question is, yeah, I mean, Shubhro, yeah, you answered that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I have answered that, and I think
so
we currently do not have any pending questions.
we have one. How does a finance role in consulting firm differ from core finance roles in firms like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs? See, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are investment banking companies, right? And in a consulting firm like the one I've joined, Resvista, you will, let's say, like, it depends on what kind of domain you get into. Like, it's either buy side, sell side, M&A, like what kind of division you get into, right? So consulting, the roles might all be the same, but it might be for a smaller company that you're working for, whereas JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs will have like bigger clients, right? So I think it'll vary with respect to the complexity of problems and the clients that you get. But then all in all, like consulting, it falls under the same gambit. So you will have similar kind of learnings, and in fact, you can like probably even get a JP Morgan and a Goldman Sachs to come to soil. Like, it's not like they do not come, right? If you have that kind of profile, then we can have them come, and like if you're qualified enough, you will get placed with them. So if you're asking me what is different, there is technically there is not much difference. Okay, so we'll talk about our interview experiences as we got placed, right? So Uha already shared her interview experience with her case study and all that. So Kajuri, when you got placed with Infosys, like what specifically, how was it like? How was the challenge?
Yeah, so the interviewer from Infosys basically focused on my CV. What I have written in my CV, interviewer was very much interested in that, because you should be able to, just to just to make the interviewer go through your CV very properly and very precisely, to make them understand about yourself, about your skills, about your personalities. So yeah, during my interview, actually I was exposed to different kind of industry trend questions, and the current also the general knowledge is very much important. And also the interviewer were very much interested in get to know my personalities, am I able to learn, am I able to pursue my career, and show my learnability to the interviewer. Because in Infosys, people can get from any background, from any specialization course, people can get to Infosys interview. But you should have that learnability to prove yourself in front of the interview. So yeah, during the interview also, actually interviewer asked me a different kind of design thinking questions. Like, they were actually trying to find my ability and my approach to solve any kind of problem. Because get to the specific and very proper and very accurate solution is not the case. You should have that kind of approach to get to the solution. So that is very much important. And during my interview question, I was actually asked different kind of as I mentioned, the current trends, the general knowledge questions, and design thinking question. So basically you have to be sure about yourself, be mindful of yourself, and you should be having the knowledge in a wider range, just a basic knowledge basically. So you do not need to actually deep down very in a very wider range. But yeah, you should have the basic understanding, the current technologies, current market trends, current industry trends. Yeah.
Thank you, Kajiri. What are the roles and responsibilities of business analyst at Accenture? You can do one thing, just look it up on LinkedIn, because we did have a lot of people placed in Accenture from our batch. and they're not here in this meeting, unfortunately. So you can do one thing. We will connect you with the people who are placed in Accenture. You can talk to them, or you can even visit our Soil website, where there are two people who are specifically placed with Accenture, and they've shared their their whole journey, and what is the expectation and all of that. Uha, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I think I may just add, and afterwards they can, even browse through our college website as well. So, a few of the key responsibilities might include good knowledge and understanding about digital application workflows. All right, as an analyst, you will be planning, managing business diagnosis through data. So that is what you're equipped to do in a company like Accenture, because you will be having a gamut of clients, and you will be placed and you will be working for a particular client in Accenture, not for the whole Accenture, right? And some of the qualifications in technical aspect might include a solid understanding of Agile or Scrum methodologies, right? And there should be an excellent communication and presentation skills when it comes to the workflow diagnosis. And I think even if you're not from a technical background, these are the skills that can be acquired through certification courses. And also we have so many subjects and courses that are lined up for analytics students to cover all these subjects that I was talking about. So yeah, I think I would have briefly answered your question, but you're always welcome to check the website or contact the admissions team.
Yeah, also they can go through the YouTube channel of Solid Store Management. There are a lot of placement testimonials from our batchmates who are placed in Accenture, and they have briefed the thing very well and put in a short period of time. So you can go through that.
Thank you, Shubhro. See, the most important thing is, if you wish to change your domain, this is like the best opportunity that you can get. Like, for instance, if you are currently in a in a specific role, and you wish to get into marketing or product or brand or anything in specific, or if you want to look at analytics, you need some kind of tunnel to go through, right? You just cannot apply for it and get placed. So that way, this 1 year course is like very, very effective, because all of us have been able to effectively change our domains, the ones that have wanted to do that. The next question is, does Soil offer relevant certifications during an MBA program? Um, Relevant certifications during an MBA program? See, they don't offer certifications, but you have to do them yourself. But they definitely, there are, like subjects like data visualization, Tableau, and then you have in-depth Excel, advanced Excel, and a lot of things that are, content for, you have specific courses that out there, but then here they teach you as part of a curriculum in Soil itself. Although you don't get a certification, but then you can always put it in your CV that you're proficient in all of these, because it's part of your the curriculum that you learn at Soil. So if there is anything else that you specifically want the soil management to take up, if you feel that there's a certain specification that everyone ought to know today, like let's say big data or something, we in fact also have big data. So if you feel that there is some important certification, the management is very open and forthcoming, so you can always reach out to them, and they will see what can be done, and kind of like make that certification available to all. So that is open.
Yeah, so Amrita, in my HR curriculum also, there are certain tools and other portals or something. Let's say we have got an idea in AI and HR. We have a specific subject that is correlated in a digital workplace in HR. So these things really focuses on the practical aspects and the tools and technologies rightly delivered, or rightly how it can be implemented in a space, technological space. So there you can get an hands-on, like tools like Slack and other, which is very prominent in nowadays in organization. And also we have in AI and HR, we have HR lab. There we go to the whole portal from recruitment to employee exit to other L&D and PMS and everything in HR. You can see how it is online monitored and getting assessed. So these kind of thing you will get hands-on definitely. So certificate is not so sure, but you will get a knowledge boost from this also.
Okay, thank you. There's another question. Does it make sense for someone to pursue a PG in data analytics after graduating with a non-technical? Would any of you like to take that up? We have one example as well in our batch.
Yeah, sorry, Amrita, we have lost you for a second there. I get the question. Let me just answer it. So I think I believe what you're trying to say is you're from hotel management, and is it feasible for you to pursue data analytics, right? So data analytics is definitely something that you can pursue, whichever field you have studied or worked in before. That's completely fine, because you can see even now if you browse through Google or any server, you will find that there are 6 months course for data analytics or data science. So data is our future. It's our future in business as well as in our transformation as a whole, in as a whole society, right? So definitely data analytics is a big thing that is going to change the way we look at businesses, small term businesses or long term businesses, or our workflow, the way we work, everything will be changing. So it is definitely a good option for you to go ahead and do data analytics, and don't worry about the previous experience or the field that you're coming from. It has nothing to do with what you will be pursuing further.
Thank you, Uha. Sorry, I got cut off there. Guys, if you have any more questions, you can ask us. We will just try and share like general stuff with you until then. Yeah, thank you. Because this is like your opportunity to ask us any kind of question, because we've been through the journey that you might have to go through. So any kind of question with respect to soil, be it curriculum placements, we are open. Even if not right now, you can always, like note down our names and get in touch with us on LinkedIn, or there is always the admissions team that you can reach out to and ask any of the questions that you have. All right, so we will just talk about how our journey in soil has been this 1 year, with respect to like getting after getting placed, and the curriculum in general, like our learnings from the subjects in specific. So meanwhile, you can ask us questions. Otherwise, we will just go ahead with answering that. Kajuri, can you tell us, like, how has the curriculum and the subjects, how have they helped you as a person and to get your job?
Yeah, so I would say that in that particular manner, actually, soil has been a very great experience for me. I have been enjoying my journey till now, and after getting placed, also every faculty, every member, every my fellow batchmates, every one of them are very much supportive, and actually, they're always are for me 24/7. I would say that if I try to get connected with any one of my fellow batchmates or the placement team or faculty members, they are actually very much there for me. They are very much willing to help me out there. So yeah, soil, the help which I got from my faculty and every one of them. So basically, it has helped me to grow personally and professionally. Especially, I would say that. In soil we actually get to learn the actual leadership skills. So after an MBA you are going to get to a position where you need to show your leadership skills. So soil actually focuses on building your leadership skills. So yeah, that actually helps you grow personally and professionally as well as. So yeah, soil has helped me a lot, and I guess wherever the candidates that are actually trying to get into soil, please go for it, guys. It will help you a lot to grow in your future life.
All right, thank you. If there's anything specific we can share, otherwise we can end this session.
Yeah, so what I would like to share, two of the most key things what happened to me in soil, because the normal curriculum you will eventually go through in any B schools, like normal foundation management course. The two things I will specifically focus on, that is the mentorship program and the social innovation program. The soil is unique in its curriculum. The mentorship program is like soil provides us each candidate with 3 mentors. One is internal mentor, one is external mentor, and also got an alumni buddy. So these people are readily reachable at any point of time of your course throughout the year. Let it be placement issue, or let it be some linking some subjects to your concepts, or you are facing some issues in your course curriculum. So they are readily available at any point of time and gives their best idea, because they are mostly industry stalwarts and they have spent a very ample amount of time in industry and academia. So they do connect these dots very well according to your requirement. The next thing I will talk about the social innovation program that SOIL has in its curriculum. So it is a 16-week long program that each student gets an NGO to work with, and they help with them on a pro bono basis to serve their needs and come up with solutions that those people need for social cause or purpose. And it's really a great job until you earn and have a passionate hand towards the society. I mean, serve your passionate hand towards the society. So this is the key thing I will talk about, that the SIP program and the mentorship program really helped me a lot in this journey. And these two things are very unique, I think, compared to any good schools. So thanks.
Thank you, Shubhra.
So I will just add one thing. SOIL as a college has a huge consortium of companies that are in favor of Anil Sachdev sir. You have already must have known about it. So I think this is a great place to network. So one of the major upside of doing an MBA is networking. You get to meet a lot of new people who are already in business, and also your fellow students who are culturally very diverse. So who knows, there might be an opportunity for a startup for you, and there might be an opportunity to learn more about how the business and the corporate world works. So these are all learnings that you can pick up from an MBA, and SOIL definitely does provide that. And that is one thing that I really liked, that it is student driven, and it gives us a platform to network with a lot of industry experts and learn from them. Yeah.
We have a question. I worked with an NGO at a national level for 2 years and was the best NSS volunteer in my UG. Will this help me during my consulting interview? Definitely, Soham, you should highlight that as your personal achievement and also mention it in your interview, because I'm sure, like, you having been a best NSS volunteer, it's a achievement in itself, right? So I'm sure you have leadership skills and ownership, a sense of ownership. So I'm sure you should highlight all of that. It will give you brownie points for sure. And I also want to say it's not just like academics that we focus on. We have like a lot of clubs in SOIL, and we have activities happening in these clubs, like every now and then. For instance, we have the consulting club, we have a sports club, we have a reading club, and then we have a mental wellness club, a women empowerment club, name it, we've got it. And if you want to like incorporate a new club that you're interested in, you can pioneer it during your time at SOIL. And it's like a wholesome experience. We also have a trip that we plan every year, and this year all of us went to Sidhpari. It was like a fun-filled 3-day trip where there was faculty, students, and all of us that got together, and we had the time of our lives. You can even look up pictures and videos and testimonials of that on our SOIL website. So a lot of such get-togethers are also informally planned by the student council. In fact, we have Uha from the student council here. You can reach out to her if you have any specific questions about activities, extracurriculars, and council related questions. You can look forward to a lot of things at SOIL, and let's hope you make an informed decision to join SOIL. We definitely assure you you're going to make one of the best decisions of your life. You will not regret it for sure, because you will get something out of it which is going to be very fruitful for you going forward. Having said that, I'd like to thank you all for coming and spending time with us today. And any questions, you can again reach out to us or the admissions department. So Oha has already put a LinkedIn. You can contact her and you can get in touch with us. So thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Wish you a great year ahead. Thank you.